Your era is at an end.
We will not yield.
We will not yield.
The threat reached Earth at precisely 1407 UTC. Every screen on the planet went black: televisions, phones, satellites, military command displays, even deep space observatories. For 7 seconds, humanity saw only darkness. Then the face appeared. The being was massive, insectoid, armored in shimmering silver plates. Behind him stretched a chamber filled with hundreds of alien delegates seated beneath glowing banners, the symbol of the Galactic Council, the oldest government in known space. The ruler spoke in flawless English. "People of Earth." His voice echoed like thunder. "You have violated council law." Across Earth, billions watched. No one breathed. The alien continued. "You have expanded beyond your assigned developmental classification." Images appeared behind him: human colonies, mining stations, scientific outposts, warp gates, the evidence of humanity's sudden rise. The council speaker narrowed his glowing eyes. "Your species was designated a primitive class world only 3 centuries ago." His voice hardened. "Yet you now possess technologies forbidden to emerging civilizations." A pause, then came the words that changed history. "You have 72 hours to surrender all unauthorized technology." The chamber behind him erupted in applause, alien delegates cheering, smiling, celebrating. The speaker raised a claw. "Failure to comply will result in planetary sterilization." Earth went silent. Then the transmission ended. For several seconds, nobody moved. Nobody spoke. The Galactic Council had just threatened humanity. And somewhere beyond known space, something heard them. Chapter 1. The visitor inside a bunker beneath Geneva. World leaders gathered in emergency session. The atmosphere was tense. Fear hung over the room. The Galactic Council controlled nearly half the known galaxy. Their fleets numbered in the millions. No civilization had ever survived defying them. Then the door opened. A woman entered. She wore no military uniform, no government insignia, only a simple black suit. Several presidents immediately stood. The Secretary General swallowed. "Dr. Morgan." The woman nodded. Dr. Evelyn Morgan, Director of Project Horizon, one of the most classified programs in human history. A project so secret only 27 people on Earth knew it existed. She looked at the giant screen displaying the council threat. Then she smiled. Not a nervous smile, not a worried smile. A smile of amusement. The room noticed. One president frowned. "Am I missing something?" Dr. Morgan folded her hands. "No. Then why are you smiling?" She looked directly at him. "Because they have no idea what they've just done." The room fell silent. The Secretary General leaned forward. "What do you mean?" Dr. Morgan took a breath. Then she said words that would soon become famous. "The Galactic Council just threatened the wrong species." Chapter 2. The discovery 22 years earlier. Humanity had been exploring deep space. A routine survey mission. Nothing special. Nothing historic, at least that's what everyone thought. Until the crew discovered the object, it floated alone between galaxies, a structure larger than a moon. Perfectly black, perfectly smooth, ancient beyond comprehension. The first scans made no sense. The second scans were worse. According to every instrument, the object was impossible. Matter arranged in ways that violated known physics, energy outputs exceeding entire stars. Technology millions of years ahead of humanity. The survey team named it Horizon. Then they went inside. Only 6 explorers entered. 3 returned. None ever spoke publicly about what they saw. But the information they brought back changed everything. Human scientists spent 2 decades studying Horizon. Reverse engineering fragments, deciphering databases, sulking secrets. The discoveries were beyond imagination. Warp technology, energy manipulation, quantum engineering, artificial gravity. Reality stabilization. Humanity advanced centuries in only 20 years, quickly, carefully, accurately. The Galactic Council noticed humanity's progress. What they didn't know was who had built Horizon, or why it had been waiting for humans. Chapter 3. The warning. As world leaders listened, Dr. Morgan displayed a hidden file. Ancient symbols filled the screen, alien text, older than civilization itself. These records came from Horizon. Everyone leaned forward. What did they say? Dr. Morgan hesitated, because even now the words were disturbing. Finally, she answered. They describe a species called the Architects. The room grew quiet. The Architects built Horizon? Yes. Where are they now? Dr. Morgan looked uncomfortable. We don't know. A pause. Because they're extinct. The room relaxed slightly, then Dr. Morgan continued. And whatever killed them was powerful enough to erase an intergalactic civilization. The room froze again. The Secretary General slowly sat down. What killed them? Dr. Morgan brought up another file, a warning message, recorded millions of years ago. The translation appeared. If you find this station, we are already dead. Nobody spoke. Another line appeared. They are coming. A third line. Do not wake them. One leader whispered, Wake who? Dr. Morgan stared at the words, then answered. The Guardians. Chapter 4. The secret Earth, never shared humanity, hadn't merely discovered Horizon. They had discovered something else, something hidden beneath it. It's a prison, a containment facility. An impossible construct extending across thousands of kilometers. And inside, sleeping machines, billions of them. Ancient war machines. The Guardians cried by the Architects as a final defense. Each Guardian possessed enough firepower to destroy entire star systems. The Architects had built them, then hidden them, then sealed them away forever. The records repeatedly warned future civilizations. Never activate the Guardians, under any circumstances. Never for 20 years humanity obeyed, until 3 days ago, when Galactic Council scouts attacked a human research station. 300 scientists died, without warning, without explanation. The Council claimed jurisdiction. Humanity responded quietly, very quietly. Dr. Morgan looked around the room. We activated one Guardian. The room exploded. What? One? You woke one of them? Dr. Morgan nodded. The Secretary General looked horrified, and she swallowed. One Guardian destroyed the attacking fleet in 0.7 seconds. Silence, Bobsawult, silence. Then she added, there were 12,000 warships. Nobody spoke because nobody knew how to respond. Chapter 5. 17 minutes ago, 17 minutes before the Council threat, a signal left the Council capital, unknown to its senders. Unnoticed, invisible, the transmission contained targeting data, planetary coordinates, fleet deployment schedules, strategic objectives. The Council believed they were transmitting internally. They weren't. The signal traveled somewhere else. Far beyond Council territory, far beyond mapped space, into darkness, into a region every ancient civilization had avoided. The signal reached a dormant receiver. The receiver activated. For the first time in 8 million years, a light turned green, then another, then millions more. Ancient systems awakened deep beneath dead stars, inside forgotten nebulae, within shattered galaxies. Eyes opened, machines stirred. The Guardians were waking, and they had received a message. The Galactic Council had identified itself as a threat to Earth. That single mistake sealed their fate. Chapter 6. The arrival the Council celebrated. Their threat had been delivered. Humanity would surrender, like everyone else, like every younger species before them. Then alarms began sounding. At first, nobody panicked. Minor incidents happened regularly, but the alarms didn't stop. More joined them, then hundreds, then thousands. The council chamber descended into confusion. Military officers rushed inside. One was pale, terrified. The council speaker frowned. What is happening? The officer struggled to speak. Unknown contacts. How many? The officer looked at his display, then looked up. His face had lost all color. We don't know. The speaker narrowed his eyes. What does that mean? It means our sensors can't count that high. The chamber fell silent. Nobody moved. Nobody breathed. The officer swallowed, then whispered, "They're everywhere." Chapter 7. The fleet of ghosts across the galaxy, impossible vessels, appeared. Not from hyperspace, not through warp gates, they simply appeared. Ancient black warships, larger than planets, older than civilizations. Every sensor identified the same thing: architect technology. The ships moved with terrifying precision. No communications, no demands, no negotiations, just purpose. Every vessel headed toward Council military assets, only military assets. Civilian worlds remained untouched. Trade routes remained untouched. Colonies remained untouched. The Guardians had chosen their targets carefully. Within 60 seconds, the first Council fleet engaged. It was the largest battle force in the galaxy, 200,000 warships, veterans of 1,000 conflicts. They fired everything: missiles, plasma, antimatter, gravitic weapons. The Guardians ignored it. Every attack vanished, absorbed. Then a single Guardian ship fired. One shot. One beam. The Council fleet ceased to exist. 200,000 ships disappeared. Not destroyed. Not damaged. Gone, else from reality. The battle lasted less than a second. Chapter 8. The message as panic spread through the galaxy. Every communication network activated simultaneously. A message appeared, every language, every world, every species. The speaker wasn't human, it wasn't even biological. An ancient machine addressed the galaxy. We are the Guardians. The voice carried unimaginable age. We have received a threat designation. Worlds watched in terror, the machine continued. Protected species, humanity. Shock spread everywhere. Protected. Humanity was protected. By these things, the Guardian continued. Threat source identified. A symbol appeared, the Galactic Council emblem. Millions gasped. Then came the final judgment. Threat elimination in progress. Chapter 9. The last hour of the Council tried everything: diplomacy, appeals, surrender, negotiation. Nothing worked. The Guardians ignored them. One by one, Council military installations vanished. Shipyards, weapons platforms, command centers, defense networks, gone. Entire fleets erased. Generals watched centuries of military power disappear in minutes. No strategy worked. No weapon mattered. Nothing slowed the Guardians because the Guardians weren't fighting a war. They were executing a protocol, and protocols don't negotiate. The Council speaker finally understood. Humanity wasn't controlling the Guardians. Humanity couldn't stop them. Humanity had merely been identified as something worth protecting, and the Council had threatened them publicly. The speaker looked around the collapsing command center. The realization hit like a physical blow. We signed our own death warrant. Chapter 10. Earth's response. Back on Earth, humanity watched in disbelief. Nobody expected this. Not even Dr. Morgan. The Guardians were acting independently, following programming millions of years old. When the first reports arrived, Earth immediately attempted communication. Dr. Morgan transmitted a message: Guardians, cease operations. No response. She tried again, nothing. Then finally a reply arrived, one sentence. We obey the preservation mandate. What mandate? She asked. The answer changed history. Humanity is designated successor species. The room froze. Successor? Successor to whom? The answer appeared seconds later. Successor to Ona's architects. No one spoke because suddenly everything made sense. Horizon, the technology, the gifts, the protections. The waiting. The architects hadn't left random artifacts. They had left an inheritance for humanity. Chapter 11. Why humanity? Dr. Morgan demanded answers. The Guardians provided them. Millions of years ago, the architects had searched for successors, not powerful species, not advanced species, compatible species. They examined millions of civilizations. None qualified. Then they discovered Earth, primitive, violent, chaotic, but unique. Humans possessed a rare cognitive pattern, a balance between creativity and adaptability, the exact trait the architects once possessed. Humanity wasn't chosen because it was strongest. Humanity was chosen because it was most similar. The architects had seen themselves in humanity and prepared accordingly for millions of years. They waited until humans reached the stars, until humans found Horizon, until humans inherited the future. Chapter 12. Minutes after the threat, exactly 23 minutes after threatening Earth, the Galactic Council ceased to exist, not its people, not its member species, only the institution, its fleets, its command structure, its military authority. Gone died with surgical precision. The Guardians never harmed civilians, never touched neutral worlds, never attacked fleeing ships. They eliminated only the threat. Nothing more, nothing less. The galaxy watched in stunned silence. An empire older than most civilizations had vanished in under half an hour because it threatened humanity. The lesson spread quickly. No species would forget it. Epilogue. The new dawn 1 year later. The galaxy looked very different. The council was gone. A new alliance had emerged, built on cooperation rather than fear. Humanity stood at its center, not as rulers, not as conquerors, but as custodians. The Guardians remained, silent, watching, protecting, waiting. Dr. Morgan often visited Horizon. The ancient station still floated between galaxies, still mysterious, still beautiful. One evening, she stood alone before a massive observation window. Stars stretched endlessly beyond. Then a new message appeared, one never seen before. A final message from the architects. She read it slowly and smiled. If you are reading this, humanity survived. Another line appeared. Good, then the final sentence. The sentence that explained everything. The galaxy belongs to those who build a future, not those who threaten it. The message faded. The stars continued shining, and somewhere in the darkness beyond known space, billions of ancient guardians stood watch over the species chosen to inherit an entire civilization. Humanity had not conquered the galaxy. Humanity had inherited it. And all because a proud Galactic Council made one fatal mistake. They threatened Earth. 23 minutes later, they no longer existed.